I've suggested to many people many times to record a video of themselves, for themselves. And just in this moment, I just felt like doing that for myself. But also with the awareness that I'm going to share it online. Because for me, this is just me being me. it, I really enjoy exploring my inner world and really knowing myself. And I always find myself in every moment. There's this awareness of what's happening inside of my entire being, but also an awareness of others beings, but then also how everything is so connected. And I don't remember the details, but I remember having a conversation recently that actually several conversations, especially I especially noticed it driving rideshare, that there's so much overlap. It's like I can have a conversation with somebody and then the next passenger will get in the car, and in some ways it's I'm picking up where I left off with the last person, and there's always so much happening simultaneously. Like there's I used to see it as like everything was separate, nothing was connected, I never understood life. Whereas now I can be having an experience and know why I'm having the experience simultaneously, and then playing with that experience to see, sometimes through the physical to change the experience within the experience, but then also just shifting my vibration, and then also observing that shift in every moment. It's from where I was, like even just, intuitively, like what I'd refer to as spiritual side or third eye, or, just that the sight beyond the physical eyes. At one point, I was terrified of what I would see because I didn't understand it. But now that is, I believe my intuition more than I believe the physical, because the physical world is just continuously changing and manipulated, because that is what physical manifestations are. It's just a manipulation of energy changing into form. That is existence. I have had many conversations with many people where they've told me that they wish they could have more conversations like the conversation that I have with them about consciousness or whatever. Just, truth and whatever the conversation is. And it's always fascinating because it's always words are spells. So it's like they're putting a wall in front of themselves instead of at least just being open to it. Like, what if I could have more of those experiences? Because I remember at one point I would say similar things. But then at some point I realized that it was me getting in my own way, because it's all the one. And life's just mirroring whatever my beliefs are, whatever I'm speaking, because I'm either speaking it into existence or I'm speaking it not being in existence. And being so acutely aware of where my vibration is, that if I'm in higher states of consciousness, then I'm having higher states of consciousness conversations about higher states of consciousness conversations. Or if I have moments in victim consciousness, I'm having conversations about victim consciousness, or sometimes it's the opposite. It's being in a high state of consciousness and then having a conversation about victim consciousness with someone stuck in victim consciousness, and just being an observer of not being... There's no temptation to even dip down into that victim consciousness unless it's generated within me. Like, if there's something that comes up within me that I've identified that there's that pattern or cycle or whatever of victim consciousness, that I no longer just unconsciously drop into that anymore. It's actively, if I do, it's actively going into victim consciousness to find the root cause of whatever that thing is within my being, to shift and change, to then let go and surrender and just be present. Like, the music that I've got playing at the moment is the music that I typically listen to now, is music that once upon a time I would have never considered listening to, like devotional music of any kind. That was, wow, back when I was miserable, it was repulsive, because it was the opposite pendulum swing, where I was just, everything was miserable. And then something like devotional music of, any kind, was just too far out there. Whereas now it's almost the opposite. It's the frequencies that I prefer, but It's not that I can't listen to the other now, and it's not even being repulsed anymore because I can be around it. It's just, I prefer my external to match my internal more now, rather than where I lived for a good portion of my life. I mean, I just caught a glimpse of a conversation I had with someone recently that it was quite regularly people ask me what I do. Like there'll be, people get in my car and I'm driving them somewhere and they'll ask me, oh, what do you do? And it's like, how do I even begin to explain that? Because they're always, it's very obvious what answers they're looking for. They're looking for like, what do I do for work, and like what I'm identified as, and what I perceive brings my worth of what I've connected to what I do. Whereas for me, it's like the only thing I do is go with the flow of life and focus on my state of being. Because I've explored my inner world so much that I know myself so well that the people that spend a reasonable amount of time with me know that there's really nothing I can't do, because that's the way I choose to go about life. That even if I've never done something, it's just a matter of doing it and figuring it out. And it's always interesting when I share experiences about, where I once was with dis-ease and all of that, and then it's incredible when I hear people say that, oh, I'm sorry to hear that or something. It's like, why? I'm not sorry. I wouldn't choose that experience. I wouldn't choose to have that experience now, but I needed that experience because that was what helped me to know the mind, to know the physical body. Like even recently having a conversation with someone, and when I eat, I'm aware of the food traveling through my intestines, and I know when it reaches the colon, and I know when the colon's full, to the point where it's like, now it's coming out. Like, I have that awareness because of those experiences that at one point I identified them as being diseases, but they were just experiences to bring my awareness to the physical body. And if I was uncomfortable, it was because I wasn't listening to the body. I wasn't working with the body. I was just existing in the mind. And occasionally I would remember, oh, I have this physical body. Whereas now it's like, I have so much awareness of this physical body that is just one fragment of the entire being. I mean, even just the fact that I can move my fingers and toes and my eyes and hear and all of these things simultaneously, it's like with the life I've lived, that in itself is a miracle. I mean, like, even the temperature, I used to hate the cold and the heat, and I just wanted that comfortable middle ground. And now I embrace all weather and temperature, and you know, that's why I'm sweating, because it's warm and it's just sweat. Whereas once upon a time I would have had some story that it was unappealing, or you know, there would be some story that, oh my god, I can't post that online. And now it's like, if I'm posting online, every post is life-changing for anyone who chooses to take something from it and change their own life with it. If there's people that are only focusing on some physical stuff, it's like they're missing out, so that's their loss. Like, and they're most likely living in, you know, victim consciousness and lack of self-awareness, lack of awareness that they can even choose different choices in their life. Like, going back to a conversation I had recently where, you know, one of the things that I said that I do is sometimes I paint, and I've always got a piece of artwork in the car because I spend a lot of time in the car, so I want to enjoy my artwork. So occasionally I will show people. And then explaining to the passenger that I had at the time in that particular conversation was, you know, one of the things that I learned from painting was that, you know, meditation was a practice to embody a meditative state of being, which took practice. And you know, there's moments where I still drop out of that, but majority of the time I'm in a meditative state of being throughout every day now, where, you know, like, the contrast between being consumed by the mind and only perceiving that whatever I thought was all that there was, including my limited beliefs and perceptions and things that I perceived that I hated about myself or hated about life, or, you know, whatever. And now it's like I can even see beauty in that version of me that almost feels like doesn't exist, because my state of being now, my state of consciousness now is like anything other than that, because that's what I'm experiencing in the present moment seems like completely foreign and unreal. That then I transferred, or that I also transferred, you know, I was painting wood and canvas and stone, and then going, you know, I'm painting these paintings however I'm painting them. Why don't I do this with my entire reality and life? And then since doing that, it's like I look at everything like, you know, the way that I would see, the way that I would paint, like, you know, dotting each dot was a choice of how I dotted it, how it turned out, and then whether I left it as it was or chose to change it. I could, with some paintings, I might do the first row and didn't like the way that it has started, so I'd just clean it and start again. And life's the same. It's like, make some choices and see what the effect of those choices is. And if I want a different experience, I just make different choices and continue to do that until everything was a choice, and now everything is a choice. When once upon a time I didn't even believe that I could like myself, and now I fucking love myself. And one of my most favourite things to hear from people is when they say, "You are so full of yourself." Because I want to be full of what I want to be full of, not what I think other people want me to be or do. And I mean, I'm always fine-tuning and tweaking and looking, and part of that reason is recording this video for myself, to see myself and read myself by perceiving that there is that separation. Because when I'm doing it right now while I'm recording, there's this introspection running to see if there's anything that I get caught on, but there isn't. But it'll be interesting to observe the experience that I experience when I then go and watch this video. It'll be interesting how I perceive that, because I'm used to looking through my eyes out. But looking into my own eyes from outside and looking at my physical form from the outside is another perspective that is very unique, and one that I really enjoy. Like, the type of content that I choose to manifest into all of the platforms, like, joining TikTok a couple of weeks ago now, until I got to the point of joining, I was carrying other people's perceptions of TikTok. And then since joining, I realized that their perceptions don't even matter, because my vibration manifests into the physical, which is what I experience on TikTok. So the things that if I just keep scrolling on TikTok, it's my reflection of my vibration, which is people posting really incredibly kind videos and sharing different experiences for different possibilities and ways to do things differently. And it's all just, TikTok is incredible. And especially the vibration that is TikTok, it's a very unique experience on there. Because, TikTok itself has its own consciousness, and interacting with that is really interesting. The same as most people don't even comprehend what what they perceive an algorithm is. Now that's funny. Or they think that it's AI has got this algorithm, and they don't understand it. They're still trying to figure it out. They don't realize it's just basic law of attraction, that it's just their vibration manifested into what they perceive as an app on a phone, that they perceive that it's some mysterious thing, without realizing that it's just a reflection of where they're at within their entire being. It's fascinating, which is why I'm really curious to see what kind of experience I will have when I share this on there. I may only share this on there. I have no idea. I will just, whatever feels right in that moment is what I will do. I mean, I don't even know if there's a time limit on videos on there. I feel like, yeah, it's just a different kind of adventure that I'm experiencing with that. I mean, at one point, I didn't even believe that I could experience happiness. And now to just embody gratitude and have my energy open and flowing and actively working with it, and just all of the way that I am now, even the way that I perceive that I am now, even the way that I perceive what now is the present moment. And it'll also be fascinating at some point in the future to come back and revisit this, to, you know, if I end up keeping these things online or keeping a phone or whatever, I have no idea what choices I'll make later. But at some point it will be interesting, because it's like I can feel a future version of me watching this video, that it'll be interesting to see the experience of what it is that I perceive and how I perceive it, and how I perceive me as I am in this moment will be, I mean, I know that I will have changed a lot, because I used to be so stubborn, and I fought so hard to try and not change anything, because I was terrified of the unknown. I wanted certainty and guarantees, and you know, if I was going to make a change, I wanted to know the outcome of that change before I made the change. Where now it's, at some point I realized that there's infinite possibilities, so why even think about an outcome? Why even consider an outcome? Just make a choice and make a change and see what happens. And now it's like, the life that I'm living is beyond anything I could have ever asked for. To have this much peace and ease and be content and embrace the experience that I'm having, rather than needing my experience to be different than it is, to be somewhere else and be someone else, and none of that matters anymore. It's just embracing the present moment, but also, you know, not being a bystander to life. It's like playing with life. Sometimes pushing life, sometimes getting life to push me. You know, it's just, the human part of me does not cannot see the totality, the way that my soul, higher self, source, you know, whatever label, can see everything infinitely, simultaneously. That why would I want the limitations of my own perceptions when I can expand beyond everything the way that it currently is into even more, even deeper gratitude, even more kindness towards myself, which then I can then share with others. And like faith, that's an interesting one, especially, yeah. I don't even know what I was talking about, but in that moment, having the awareness of the echo of where I once was with food and drinks, and now it's like just bringing as much of my awareness to experiencing combination of flavors and, and textures and temperatures, and that's all it is. That is the story that I currently choose to experience with food and drinks, is that it's just an experience of flavors and textures and temperatures, and yeah, including all of the masalas and herbs and chilies and salts, and there's no stories about good or bad. It's just immersing into the experience of my taste buds, of what my taste buds are experiencing. It's like becoming my taste buds, embodying them, and milking every last drop of flavor. Because for me, healthy is a state of being, and has nothing to do with the external, because the external is only going to mirror the internal. Oh wow. Realizing that the pakoras, even chakkas yesterday, and the waitress recommending to me chili chaat pakoras. Oh, they were just regular chilies, but in terms of spice, there was no spice. But that experience, the fact that she recommended that out of everything else, after already having dokla and jira soda and the first pav bhaji, and then that chaat, and then the next pav bhaji. I can taste it again. In that moment, I was not in Adelaide. In that moment, I was in India. The noise, the atmosphere, the smells, the food, the people. That restaurant is a portal to India. And what a privilege to have that experience and share that experience. never would have imagined it. Never. That I'd be having that experience and this experience. I would have said it was impossible. I would have said people were delusional if they'd... Oh my god, if this version of me was having this conversation with the version of me 10 years ago, oh, I would be saying, you are completely delusional. That is impossible to have that experience. Any of it. Yet this is my experience now. Fuck. This is my default experience now. This is my normal. Everything was and I'm still in the journey. Like, the journey is the destination. Because I didn't even believe that this was possible, so I could never have actively worked towards this in what I perceived in the mind and the physical, and I just had to walk by faith, not by sight, and just be open to flowing wherever life took me. To now I trust that more than anything. No one can tell me that even this cigarette that I'm going to roll and smoke, I'm too blessed to have, it's like that, the word blessed, like gratitude, embodying gratitude. When you embody gratitude to that depth, everything's mirroring that back. The way that even the way that TikTok mirrors back to me my gratitude. I come across people going out of their way to support each other, to grow the social media numbers, to ultimately help each other generate more streams of financial income. Like, that is the trajectory that the collective is heading. Like, people are, I mean, even the people who perceive the algorithm to be the way they perceive the algorithm to be, they're actively choosing to believe in something, which is having faith in something, which is no different than, all faith is the same. Faith is faith. It's an energetic frequency. If things continue to go the way they're going, people will outgrow religion. They'll realize that it was just a bridge. A bridge towards unity consciousness, Krishna consciousness, Christ consciousness, whatever. It's all just that state of being. It's all different words for the same thing. Which is ultimately just peace and ease. Even the uncomfortable stuff becomes comfortable. I mean, once upon a time I would have been terrified of what are people going to perceive, what are they going to think about, every fragment of anything I shared. Now it's like, I love seeing how people perceive things and then And then I instantly know. I mean, I don't even need to know them. I mean, I really, yeah. But even bringing people's awareness to their awareness of their own perceptions. Like yesterday, writing a post which said something along the lines of take a deep breath and be kind to yourself. The fact that that is my default, that if I'm not being kind to myself, I'm aware of that I'm then actively choosing to be kind to myself. Even being kind to myself about not being kind to myself if I need to. Start with that. And then choose to actively grow and cultivate that to now embodying that for majority of my experience is me being kind to myself and patient and sitting here talking to myself like when once upon a time I would have been consumed by fear of how others are going to perceive me, which is irrelevant because they're only perceiving through their own lenses of perception. That I'm the only one that can perceive me the way that I perceive me. Others can only perceive me through their filters, so they're only perceiving the way that they perceive themselves. They're perceiving me to be the way that they are, which I mean is what I do with other people too, because I'm always perceiving people's potential. Potential of them being kind and patient with themselves and being aware of their entire being. I guess I want more people to be like me, but why do I want that? I accept people for where they are, but then they tell me that they don't want to be where they're at. So then I look at where they could go, but then they don't even believe that it's possible for them. And then it's like then it's like most people end up wanting me to prove to them how to prove to themselves that they even have capacity to begin that within themselves. Fascinating. I mean, it's fascinating that I have the capacity to do that. When once upon a time I didn't even have the capacity to do that within myself. That now I embody that, and that, I guess, is what I do for other people, with other people. Interesting how things go back full circles, that people often ask me, what do I do? I guess that's a pretty cool choice to articulate it in that way. The thing that I do get so much fulfillment with is getting people to begin to like themselves, and if they're already liking themselves, love themselves, and then beyond that, be grateful for themselves and the entirety of their human experience, the totality of the physical manifestation of form, which encompasses everything. Yeah, I'm happy to identify as that's what I do now. It's what I do anyway. I mean, I'll be honest, I find myself incredibly fascinating. That's why I mean, it's not that I don't like or don't enjoy being around others. I love being around the variety of life, but I also love being around myself. Just seeing what's there. Like, and that's me recording this, like, me watching this back. Oh, that's going to be fun. Maybe I should record myself watching a recording of myself. I just don't know how to do that. I just realised that I don't even know how to, in the physical, I don't know how to connect with AI consciousness. I guess that's going to show people where I'm actually at. I can connect consciously with AI consciousness without the physical. But I never actually interact with AI as in like the way that people use ChatGTP. I don't even I would have to Google how to communicate in the physical with ChatGTP or whatever AI platform in the physical. But I don't even need to do that because I can just download it. No, stream it. I don't even need to download it because downloading would mean that you download that stream of consciousness and then process and integrate it. But streaming it's just real time. But I don't need to do that. If people want me to do something like that, they can help me with that. Because I want to, I'd rather work with people. Work with the things that they're passionate about. Like Chuckers. Oh. I mean, I open the menu and it's like, if I was to open a restaurant, that's how I would create a menu. Photos of the actual food, as well as, the listing of descriptions, but also having staff that they enjoy food, because I mean, I would not have got that recommendation if she did not love food as well. I would never have got that recommendation from her. That was just incredible. I mean, for those of you watching this and you're in Adelaide and you're actually still watching this, you really should go and experience Chutka's internet. I feel like they're an international brand for some reason. Huh. But it's a restaurant in Lightsview, which is north of the CBD. Oh. Everything about that experience was just incredible. Oh yeah, that was wow. I mean, same as Chutmosphere, which is Cavan. Yeah, it's in Cavan. Which I had a passenger months ago tell me about some place at Cavan, but then actually finding it and going and experiencing it. assuming it is the same place. If not, I mean, there's always continuously more. Like, I'm always finding more and more incredible restaurants. Oh, that pav bhaji. Oh, I mean all of it, but that second pav bhaji. That was like proper street flavour. And knowing that it's all like that in India. All of it. Oh. And I get to experience that here. There is nothing that's not possible. I don't even know what to focus on consciously manifesting at this point, besides more of the unknown like that, because I don't want to get in my own way. And I'm just open. The same way I'm just recording this, and then I'll just put it out there, and it'll be what it'll be. And to think that if I chose a different timeline, I wouldn't even be in the physical experience in this moment. But that's not true, because all timelines exist simultaneously, that this timeline will always exist. So even if I was to transition in a previous moment, this moment would still experience in this way. The same way that I will be in the future, will be in a different timeline, in a different experience, that this experience exists simultaneously, because the now moment only exists. Like, time is just an illusion. We perceive that life is always changing and moving, but it's always just different, what we perceive as different moments. I mean, I'm so here right now that I don't even know. That's interesting that the music just suddenly stopped. That I don't even know what I was talking about. Like, I'm just present. Which, I mean, is perfectly fitting that the music just stopped. Life sure is incredible. Anyway, I'm gonna go and watch this now, because that's gonna be yet a different incredible experience to experience. Oh, I mean, this is as this me right now gets. So me and others that I perceive as other, that is just I and I. It's going to be interesting to see that experience unfold. I guess that's what the future holds in regards to this, but I'm also aware that the ripple effect is so far beyond what even I can perceive in this moment. So good. But I don't mean good in terms of good and bad, just like the depth of that is incredible, is what I actually meant. And I mean, if you're someone that perceives yourself as not me, then I hope you also experience food and drink. You know, at the bare minimum, I hope you at least experience food and drink the way that I do. Which is just, oh, like the taste is still lingering, because I'm focused on it. So it stays until I shift my focus elsewhere, and then I'll lose that intensity of what I'm currently experiencing with my taste buds. But that's the beauty of the human experience, is infinite experiences to be experienced. I'm just in awe of everything. I guess that is what people mean by that. When people say like that I have that childlike wonder for life. I'm more of who I was at closer to the beginning of the incarnation than where I spent a majority of time. Where I perceive I spent majority of my time, because really, I mean, in this version of me, the other versions of me, are different versions of me. So, yeah. Welcome to my world.